Welcome back. Earlier on in the course we created the Contact Us page and the link is down at the bottom in the footer. If we go into the Contact Us page, we've still got the Bootstrap design at the very bottom for the Send Us a Message section, but it doesn't actually work at the minute because it's just HTML and CSS. So in this video we're going to make sure that this works by using a popular plugin called Contact Form 7. So we'll go over to the dashboard and select the plugins, and then in the search box, go to add new first. Then in the search box, search for Contact Form 7. And Contact Form 7 is one of the most popular WordPress plugins for creating contact forms. So hit install now. And just give it a few moments to install. And then go to activate plugin. Okay, so once you got that installed, you should now see that there's a new option in the dashboard called Contact. So click on that. And by default, there's already one contact form there as an example. So click on Edit and we can take a look at how it's constructed. So this section here is going to be our contact form. So in just a moment, we're going to head over to the Contact Us template, and then we're going to cut out the contact section and paste it in. And we need to replace some of the values in the form using the same formatting that the contact form requires. So when working with this form, each one of the sections is a particular input, and we need to put the input type and also the rest of the information between the square brackets. So to start with, let's take a look at the first example. So this will create a input with the type of text and then followed by the star, and the star means that this is required. So the user must enter the name before they can submit that, and then your name, which is the name of the input. And then pretty similar examples below. We've got the type or the input type of email, which is a required field, and the name is your email. And we can also add various other inputs such as text areas and submit buttons. So I'm just going to delete this for now, and then I'm going to go over to our contact page. So we need to go to the page contact.php, and then we're going to copy the full section for the contact form, and then look for the div with the class of well, which is right at the bottom. So look for that, and then find the closing div or the closing tag. So copy all this section. In fact, we can cut that out because we don't need it anymore, and save that. And then we can paste this into the contact form. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete the form tags because these are added back in automatically. So delete the opening and the closing tag. And then we need to replace our input types. So just delete the full input section, first of all for the name. And then we'll put these back in the same format as we looked at before in the example. So between the square brackets, the first one has a type of text. And this is for the name, so we want this to be required. So put the star in there. The name of your -name. Then we need to put our classes back in. So the class and then the colon. And the first one is going to be form control. And we also had an ID in there. So ID with the colon of input -name. And we can also add the placeholder text. So placeholder, we don't need a colon after that, so just a space. Then between the quotes, put the name of name. So that's all we need to do for the name input. So I'm just going to copy this and then go down to the next input, which is the email. So delete that and then replace that with the code in the square brackets. So this time, instead of text, this has got the type of email, and we'll also leave this as required. The name this time is going to be your email, and we'll still need the class of form control, but this time the ID is going to be input-email, and the placeholder text is simply email. And next we'll replace the text area. So delete that section and then paste in the new code. And this time the input type is going to be text area. We'll leave this field as required, but this time change your name to your message. The class of form control, we can keep that there, but we need to change the input. It's from input name to input message. Then after that, we need to tell the form how many lines for the text area to display as default. So we're going to set mine to 3. So we'll do that within X and then 3. And then the placeholder text, change that from name to message. And then the last part of the form is the input. So delete the submit button from the bottom of the form. Then open up the square brackets. So inside we give it the type of submit. The class is going to be the bootstrap class of btn. And then the second class of btn-default. So they're the same as we've used in the bootstrap site. And then the text in brackets of submit. Okay, so save that. And because we've taken the contact form out of the page template, or the contact template, we need to put this back in. So if we copy the shortcode, so copy that part, then head back over to the page contact.php, and in the same section that we just cut the code out of, open up the PHP, and then we echo to the browser, do underscore shortcode, then in the brackets and the quotations, paste in the shortcode and save that. So now if we go back into the WordPress site, and hopefully if we go down to the contact page, we should see the contact form all working correctly, which it is, so that's good. So that's all displaying fine. There's one or two little things we need to change in the dashboard. So go to the contact section again. So to actually get this form to send to the website administrator, we need to put in the email address to send to, and that can be done in the contact form under the mail tab. And we can change the default values, and you can set the email address you'd like the messages to come through to. You can also go in the messages section and you can change the messages that the user gets once they send emails. And there's default values already set in there, but these are all available to change. So once you've changed that, hit save. And that's it. And now you should have a fully functional Contact Us section. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.